Welcome back, Warriors! We are live with the Warriors Den. Sorry, that was a lot of energy. I probably burst some eardrums there.
No, it's fine. We need to burst some eardrums today. It's important.
No. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's important not to. It's important to be hype. And we hope you guys are hype because it's year 7, season 1, title update 2, and we have so much going on in this TU.
I know.
I'm excited. It's going to be very metal.
It's gonna be just pretty awesome there for sure. So that's good.
But yeah, year 7, season 1, TU2 starts tomorrow, April 27th, and we got a lot of updates for you on that. But first, I believe we have some stuff for people in chat.
We do. Cameras. Chat, listen up. You should know how this goes by now. But if you're new to the party here, this is what you got to do. What are we doing now? You got to make sure you link your UB account to your Twitch account, because for every 30 minutes you're with us today on stream, you're going to earn a scavenger crate. And at the end of all this, we're going to do a draw. So somebody lucky will win 100,000 steel. And trust me, at the end of this, you're going to want to win that, because there'll be some fabulous things to use that steel on. So this season.
Yeah, and make sure you're not one of the unfortunate few who every single stream forgets to redeem your drops.
You do, yeah.
So pay attention, because when you get that pop-up, you got to redeem it or you don't earn. And I've been witness to the horror of people going, I've been watching all stream and I forgot to redeem. So don't be that guy.
You've been warned.
Or gal.
Yeah. Person in general, yeah. You've been warned, though. Please just click, claim, redeem, all that.
Oh, yeah. But because we listen to feedback, we're just going to jump straight into it. So we have this awesome preview of very cool stuff for you to see right now. So get hype.
Go.
On the morrow's dawn, the trial of the accused begins. Worship of the relics is strictly forbidden. Anyone in league with the fanatics or the disgraced Inquisitor Yin Chen will be subject to the full wrath of the Inquisition. This faith is a blasphemous lie. Anyone who ventures down this path shall be found guilty of heresy. One chance to survive. Prove your innocence. Get your mettle.
There you have it. Death by Metal is here, and it looks awesome. So it starts tomorrow, April 27th, runs till May 18th. Stefan, thank you for joining me on the segment.
Thank you for inviting me.
We got a lot of details to go through today. Like, this is a beefy section, and that's a technical term. So for those of you at home, stay a while and listen. So, Stefan, what can you tell us about all the stuff coming in year 7, season 1, title update 2?
I mean, we got the parade of content continues, so this is super cool. Are we going to start with the rundown? Are we going to
I think we should start with Death by Metal.
All right, let's start with Death by Metal. Perfect.
I'm going to only say it like that today. Death by Metal.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So Death by Metal, which is your tester metal, third version of this. For those that don't know, it's an elimination game mode where 4 players are going to fight against 4 boss rosters.
Big bad.
Rosters made of bosses, so you're going to see Apollo.
Bosters.
Bosters. Tozid, Goodmunder, leading different groups of of enemy fighters that you may have seen from campaign or from the rest of the story over the years.
And some that you'll have to wait to find out.
Exactly.
There's
So
some surprises in there.
So pop in each week. It changes. So you'll see a couple different rosters in week 1, a couple different rosters again in week 2, a couple different rosters in week 3. So if you want to test your mettle against the campaign bosses and other, this is the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, get spanked by everyone.
Yes. Oh boy. And in terms of this, each time you defeat them in the elimination mode, each round they get stronger and stronger. So they get more powers, basically. Their HP, their attack, their defense, all this kind of stuff goes up. So you're really gonna see your skill level and your team skill level. And there's gonna be some frustration, but it's gonna be some satisfaction as well when you achieve your goal and win.
I'm pumped for it. And then we got a lot of stuff going on in the rest of the season. We got Inquisition stuff.
So let's talk all about like what's going on here in Test Your Metal. So how do we frame it? In the previous year, we introduced the relics. So it was pretty cool. You got to learn a lot about Heathmore and some cool characters. And then in TU1, everyone was hoping, Swordsman Justice year, this would be great. Everyone would get together and understand what these are. No, that's not what happened. It was definitely a
Not
season of
even a
injustice. And basically, they fought the Heresy of the Relic battle, where the servants of the stake, a.k.a. the relic worshippers, a.k.a. the fanatics, took these relics to this keep, were worshipping it. The Inquisition formed, and they attacked them. That's what you participated in TU1 for control of these relics. But
you can't kill people like that. You have to kill people like this. That was basically the Inquisition.
That's very important.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Everyone killed everyone.
But they got their way. They won in TU1 thanks to your assistance, for those of you who thought yourselves as pro-Inquisition players. And here we are at the secluded keep. The Inquisition has won. They've set up basically the Test Your Metal, the metal trials, where they're going to put people to the sword, basically, and you have to fight each other for survival. They're attempting to burn the relics, as you see it here in the temple. So you have to fight for survival. You have to fight to get out of this, get revenge on them. And I'm sure Yinshin, Fallen Inquisitor Yinshin, will participate at some point. And maybe she'll have her own eye on the relics as well.
Where was the purge it with fire aesthetic for the Halloween event? Because that's when we needed it. This is spiders.
Fire's always a good one. Everyone loves everything on fire. It lets you know something bad has happened. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. We also, I think, have an event pass for this. So what can people expect to get in this event pass? We've got spiffies.
Sure. For the duration of Test Your Metal, which is a 3-week event, you're going to have some lootable rewards that'll be available all through. So here we are starting with Event Pass's battle outfit. This is the Inquisition's rule. We see here the ornament, the Inquisition Trials, and all the Event Pass theme here in TU2 is themed around the Inquisition. So here, Shadow Cult effect.
Which is perfect for Warmonger.
Yes, definitely. In TU1, you had a bunch of fanatics-themed Event Pass content. Here, as the Inquisition has won, it is putting everyone to the trials. It's Inquisition-themed content, which is pretty cool.
I gotta say that ornament looked great on Valk too. It fits the.
It's definitely dress up season.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, between Death by Metal, the fashionistas are winning.
Absolutely. So, do we want to talk about the main event loot drop that everyone's going to be gearing for?
I think we do.
Yes,
we do.
Perfect. So, Test Your Metal, the other super fun thing that I think everyone is holding out to see is the black armor set. Basically, what we have is every hero has a black armor set that drops as a lootable item during the Test Your Metal weeks.
Someone on Instagram described it as, quote, the best armor in the game.
Well, if you feel that way, these are the 3 weeks for you. Get out there, grind out the loot for your hero. And we've retrofitted the black armor set to each hero. So that includes Aphira, that includes Kyoshin, Medjay, Warmonger. Who have I missed? Everybody
Who wasn't there. I think we missed Pirate, right?
Pirate.
Yeah. There's some others, I'm
exactly.
sure. It's a long roster.
So everybody's got the black armor set. You can get the gear. And we also have the black weapons. These are for only the original group. that
Yeah,
had
the
these.
weapons are not retrofit, and that's kind of how we've always done it with the what do we call them? Like the recurring or revisited events. Like what is it?
I don't know. I call
can't
this
think of
one
the
kind of a
word.
semi-throwback because there's some
Throwback.
some
That's it.
originality,
Throwback events.
some familiarity to this one.
So I just arrived in Montreal, and I'm just, both languages are going in my brain. So I'm like,
It's going to stay there.
Les but no, I'm super awesome. Looking forward to that because the Test Your Metal or the new Death by Metal variation, which you all didn't know about, has been like a recurring request on all of the social media platforms since I joined the brand. It's been like, bring back Test Your Metal, bring back Metal Trials.
It's definitely been a while. We told you at the start of year 7, hey, book these 3 weeks to get your gear. So yes, I hope you've done that, and here it is finally. And the gameplay is awesome too to test your metal against these bosses.
Yeah.
It changes each week, so it's quite fresh. Super fun event. Can't wait to begin it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun playing this. There's gonna be a lot of Warden top heavies. The team did a great job with everything, and like the realization with the Inquisition, the secluded keep, all that. But yeah, we've got I think we've got a video of all of the things coming. So we've got the Age of Wolves. Are we on this part?
Yeah, so we're jumping-
sorry,
we're
sorry.
jumping into a bit
We
more-
jumped
more time limited.
ahead to the lootable rewards. That's what these are.
Yeah, so there's some, in addition to the black armor set and the black weapons that are lootable for the whole 3-week duration, there's a bit of content here that is lootable only 1 week at a time. So in week 1, week 2, and week 3. Here we've got the Apollyon's Might embossing, which is week 2, so May 4th to May 11th. This is added to the loot pool, and this will drop. In week 3 only, the emote I Am War. So this is available from May 11th to May 18th. And then you saw at the beginning the battle outfit, Age of Wolves. This is time limited, added to the loot pool in April 27th to May 4th. So
there's a lot of dates, a lot of info, but as always, we're gonna have a Warriors Den recap. So if you're like, that's too many dates, that's too much content to remember, you can always look back at the recap article. But yeah, that's all the lootable rewards. And so I think we've got just a quick reminder: Death by Metal is again available April 27th until May 18th. And then just before we jump into the rest of the title update content that we have to discuss today, which is quite a lot, we've got the entire roster of black armor that we want to show you right now. Like right now. There you have it, all the spiffy black armors. So yeah, everyone who is waiting for those to come back, they're back. And you guys can earn those again from April 27th until May 18th. I believe we have some time to look at what else is coming in this TU, right?
Yeah, let's
We got a whole list of stuff.
let's do the rundown real quick. So title update 1, that's passed, bunch of content. Now title update 2, Death by Metal, starting April 27th, as we just talked about. Remember, each week has its own rosters to fight against, difficulty, and time-limited loot in the week. The new armor variations, we're going to talk about that at the end. But this is for the Knights and the Samurai. And then Realistic Duel Mode is coming May 18th. So that's the week right after Tester Metal ends. We've got a duel tournament that we'll talk about as well in a moment.
Yeah, boy.
And
You
then,
asked, we answered.
yeah. And then Covenant Games, Heralds of Chimera. This will come June 1st. This is the last time that this is coming back for the foreseeable future.
Last time for a long time.
So if there's stuff you want on it, get in there or try it out. If you like the gameplay, get in there, try it out, of course.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then otherwise it won't come back for a while. And in its place in future seasons, we intend to bring back other throwback game modes.
Yeah.
Instead.
More throwback events.
Exactly. And then Hero Fest for TU2, we've got Berserker, Orochi, and Conqueror in that order.
Do you want the Hero Fest Berserker?
Yes, I want the Hero Fest Berserker.
Yes.
Can't believe
Awesome.
that.
No, that's great. So we mentioned one thing in there, realistic duel game mode.
Let's talk about Realistic Duel. So this begins May 18th. It goes to May 25th, so this is 1 week. For those of you who are like, well, I can get my black armor set. That's awesome. But guess what? I also want to complete the look with my tri-colored black color swatch. This is the game mode of the week for you. So the grind continues. Realistic Duel, it drops for your hero. And drops every match. That's why you pick Realistic Duel. So the grind is short, and you can get all the colors for all your heroes.
Everyone who's like, how do I get the all black swatch? Why did you get rid of it? We didn't get rid of it. We were just waiting to bring it back.
Exactly.
And
Test Metal, Realistic
now's
Duel.
the time. So everyone who's like, man, I wish I would have got it back then. Well, you can get it now
Mhm.
and have that all black. No more having to do the 2 out of 3 and not choose any symbols. You can have your symbols and make them invisible if that's your jam.
All black, here you go, as edgy as you like.
Yeah, no, this truly is the title update for Edgelords.
Yes.
You're all going to get everything you ever wanted.
It's all there. Check it out. Grind it out. And Realistic is interesting to see how much you can read the animation.
Yeah,
versus
floop
the
your
anime, so
widget. It's gone.
Toss it
Yeah.
for 1 week.
We'll also be having, in addition to the realistic duel game mode, as mentioned, we're going to have a duel tournament. And this is going to be run by For Honor's official tournament organizers, Mr. Spaniard and Mr. Nutella. So that'll go from May 20th, so 2 days after Death by Metal ends, to June 4th, just 3 days before my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy early
I'll be
birthday.
even older than I already am.
Oh, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But both will be prime numbers, so it'll be dope.
Okay.
And again, this is not related to the realistic duel game mode. This is a separate duel tournament because we've done a lot of Dominion tournaments, and people are like, why don't you do tournaments for duels? And so we said, okay, that's it. Okay.
If you ask for it, you're getting it. This
Yeah,
is
easy, easy, squeezy. So yeah, there will be Steel and Cash prizes. Sorry, I got to look at the cheat sheet. Signups are open, and you can join For Honor's official tournament Discord to stay up to date with future tournaments. So we turned to the, Into the Fray. There it is. Thank you, Brain. You always had my back. The Into the Fray Discord is becoming just our official tournament Discord, so that way we can have everything in one place, not have to have people go into all kind of different Discords for every single tournament. So all of our tournaments will just be there. Someone should be dropping the link in chat. Where's chat? Chat's over there, kind of that region. So yeah, you guys can click there. Also, it'll be in the Warriors Den recap on the website. So if you miss it and you're like, what was the link? Just check in the recap. And then I think that's everything for the duel tournament. Now we get to move on to armor variations.
So let's talk armor variations. So tester metals armor variations, or armor sets, sorry.
So there's the black armors.
The black armor.
For death by metal.
Exactly. That's a separate topic. And now here in TU2, we add new armor variations to the overall loot pool for the knights and the samurai specifically.
Rejoice.
Exactly. And in future seasons, we'll have the next season, season 2, Viking, Woolen, and Outlanders. And then 3, we'll do Knights and Samurai again. And then 4, we'll do Viking, Woolen, and Outlanders again.
Yeah, so everybody will get 2.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you'll get 1 the first time your faction comes around, and then the other one the other time. So, yeah, you can
That's
look
math.
forward to those. Yeah, that's how it works.
Exactly.
Counting with numbers.
So we'll show you that in just a second. And then the other piece that's adding to the loot pool here in TU2 is the Gladiator Armor Set 5.
With a face reveal.
With a face reveal. So here
Hopefully
it
I
is.
beat chat to it. I'm pretty sure they were like, oh, face reveal. I'm glad. I think it was first time ever, right?
Yes.
Yeah, first.
Yes, indeed.
Finally got it.
So you get 2 variations of the Gladiator Armor Set number 5.
Yeah, I'm glad looking fit. So thank you so much for helping me go through all that.
My pleasure. Thank
some-
you for
some
helping
pinch-
me.
some
and thanks
pinch
everyone
hits
for
along the
making it
way.
all.
And next up, a segment you will not want to miss because we will be joined by one Mr. J.C. Frenette, our Lord and Savior, to go through patch notes. But first, check out the complete armor variations roundup. Here we go. Take it away, Max.
Welcome back, Warriors. Wow, that was awesome.
Right?
I love seeing all the armor sets, the variations. Gladiator looks amazing, so super hyped for
Yeah.
that. Plus Test Your Metal, Death by
I'm
Metal.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for it. It was
Oh,
so
that's
much fun,
sweet.
and
Yeah.
I think people are gonna be.
I mean, they'll be happy, but it's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
gonna
pretty
be-
tough. So this should
it's
be
tough.
pretty cool there.
But yeah, good luck finding that out tomorrow
Yeah.
too. You don't even have to wait very long. But yeah, but you know what? I am actually joined here by, of course, everybody's favorite. You know him, you love him, JC, the Lord and Savior of For Honor here, and all things balancing, patching, fight design here is here to talk about what kind of patch notes we can expect, changes for tomorrow, dropping live tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
So,
yeah.
So JC, take it away. Let's go over these.
All right. I know some people are excited to see me today, so that's great. So let's go for patch notes. We have a couple of things to talk about, so that should be pretty interesting.
Good.
First up, Valkyrie changes. So Valkyrie right now is overperforming. We've got a lot of data, a lot of feedback from a lot of players. She's a bit too strong.
We hear you.
Yeah, right. She's banned and competitive. We wanted to try to act like as fast as we could. So this is going to be coming out tomorrow. So that's great. Hopefully it'll help resolve a lot of the issues that she has. I'm going to go through like the changes so everybody kind of understands. I'll kind of explain some of the things there, right? So first up, Shield Tackle Strike. I think one of the biggest things that I've heard from a lot of people. It dealt 20 damage. It'll now deal 18.
Yeah.
So again, it's not a massive damage decrease, but it's enough to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that high essentially because when we used to play test and we're working on the rework, the damage, if it was too low, felt so bad because you would just block and like go into guard breaks or do something else or just feint the parry, and you will always get a lot more damage out of it. So we wanted to keep it high. But after it's been out for a little while, turns out that, we kind of knew this, but her bash is the best bash in the entire game. Fully unreactable at all levels. Yeah, you can kind of pre-dodge it, but then if Valkyrie reads you, she can just hold it and hit you back a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
So dealing a little bit less damage here should be pretty good. Again, like all of these changes, and I'll get back to it in the end, but we're keeping an eye on things, right? So if this still feels too high, we can always readjust. It's not a problem. So that's the important thing here to know that like we're doing these changes now. And then if we need to do more, we always do more. Like we've been doing a lot of these things. So
Yeah, for sure.
we've also lowered the distance that shield tackle moves. So now it moves 0.5 meters less. So essentially is when you go, you tap your heavy, you go into your shield, like your shield tackle, you can hold it. When you release it, she would move quite a bit forward. So she's losing half a meter of distance. You can't quite like babysit gank, stay on the sidelines, catch people from super far. So that should be like it's an interesting nerf here because it's not some things that we often do, but for this specifically, it makes a big difference there.
I love the concept of the babysit gank too.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I've heard that one before, but now I'm imagining Valk the babysit.
Yeah. So also as well, shield tackle strike, it no longer chains on miss. So initially we had it that they would chain on miss because we wanted to make sure it was like safe. Again, because it's the best bash in the game right now. We've completely removed the ability for it to chain on miss. It's fully unreactable. We didn't want to keep like extra damage on top of it, potentially get a potential parry if you dodge. Like it's just if you manage to dodge it, you're gonna get a guard break out of it. You're gonna be able to punish her. So that's all good. That was kind of really requested there as well.
Yeah.
Like for such a potent bash, a potent attack, you need to be able to be punished like appropriately for this. So that works well.
Yeah.
We've also adjusted our damage curve for her chain and heavy finishers. So the chain one does 26 instead of 27, and the finishers do 28 instead of 30. So we want to lower damage a little bit. Damage has been creeping up a little bit too much lately. We do some experiments. We do to try sometimes and we want to just readjust it downwards enough so that the characters are still good, but they're going to have to work a little bit more to get to where they need to go.
Gotcha.
Next, very, very big nerf, but again, it should still be good, is her zone attack, right? So we had buffed it to 500 MS while we were doing the testing rounds. And we're like, yeah, okay, it feels good. And then it comes to live, and it's like, well, it's a massive zone attack with huge trajectories, with a soft frame to shield tackle, with all sorts of crazy properties. And at 500 MS, it became such an insanely good group fighting tool that we need to tone it down a little bit. So at 6, it's still good, right? You'll still hit people externally. You'll still get all that good stuff going. But it's going to be a little bit slower, easier to react to from external, from the people you're working against. So it's not it's not meant to be an unreactable tool. It's meant to be something to be able to hit people externally and do that sort of good stuff there. So it being slowed down a little bit should be enough to make it a lot more manageable. And on top of that, we've also adjusted the weapon trajectories on her zone attack, so they have a little bit less reach, right? Because they used to have massive reach with that really big spear. And we've also adjusted their start and end positions, so the trajectories themselves, the kind of hitboxes, they match the weapon swing better, right?
Okay.
Like it normally, there was a bit of an offset here, and it wasn't super clear. You would get hit early. It didn't look like you were getting hit. So we've kind of tweaked these a little bit so that it looks better and it feels better fighting against her.
Sure.
So that's where we're going for Valk.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like significant nerfs.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I'm really hoping that this is gonna help the character get unbanned. We know she was banned or like sort of banned in a lot of competitive plays. So with this, we're hoping that we're able to tone her down enough and
Bring her back. Bring her back.
So,
right? She's gonna be okay now.
Yeah. Right. We still want her to be strong, right?
Oh, of
it's not
course,
like we don't want to have
yeah.
a really bad character there. So that should be like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Perfect. So next up, Tiandi. So we've also done some nerfs to Tiandi. Tiandi fell a little bit under the radar for a lot of people when we had the Valkyrie and Tiandi testing grounds. People were like super hyped about Valk. They're like, oh yeah, she's super good, blah, blah, blah. And then came out. People were really focused on Valkyrie. But Tiandi was also low-key real strong. I know some players are starting to recognize it more and more and more.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think I saw in chat earlier, people that were saying like both Tiandi and Valk were banned in competitive duels. So I'm like,
Oh, wow.
maybe this is also going to help there. But yeah, so we're doing some changes to Tiandi as well to make sure that the character has to work a little bit more to get to where they want to go. They do less damage. They're still super slippery. The idea of having a really slippery Tiandi is super cool to us, and screaming his name all the time too. That's always consistently. So getting slightly lower damage here. Make sure that Tiandi has to work, like I was saying, a little bit more to get to where they need to go and to be able to defeat opponents. Same with Top Tiger Dodge, that deals 10 instead of 12. With the mix-up that you always get into after your finishers, from front dodge into like either top Tiger Dodge, going to palm, going to all those things. Want to make sure that Tiandi still can apply pressure, but at the same time doesn't apply insane pressure with too much damage looping over and over and over.
Gotcha.
Again, right?
Okay.
Next up, we have Dragon Kick Miss Recovery. It's now 700 MS up from 600. Now that doesn't really seem like much, right? Like, it's just 100 MS more recovery, right? The big difference here is that normally when you're looking at like how things work, when you're able to dodge it, all that sort of stuff works, is that at 700 MS, Tiandi has to make a call on whether they're going to recovery cancel the recovery with a dodge or not. When it was at 6, a lot of the time, like most of the time, you could side dodge it and Tiandi did nothing and could counter guard break if you attempted to guard break.
Oh.
So because of this, it created a lot of issues where you don't need to commit to anything. You just throw a kick, and if it misses, you're safe.
Yeah.
Unless your opponent did a dodge attack, and then you could even like counter that also
Right.
a little bit more. So it's like, well, it's an attack that deals a lot of damage at the end and needs to be able to be countered properly. So it being at 700, it forces a Tiandi to do something. Because if you decide not to do a recovery cancel, you will get grabbed by a guard break. And then when that ends up happening, you take at least like 24 damage most of the time. So it kind of like dials down that mix up a little bit. And we really want to make Tiandi players have to like commit to their kicks,
Sure.
commit to the recovery cancel, and get into that.
Commit to the kicks, Tiandi players. That's
Exactly
the
right.
big one
Yeah.
there.
Next up is the Dragon Kick follow-up, right? So the heavy that you do after a Dragon Kick. We lowered the damage down to 20 up from it used to be 24. So again, damage nerfs there. That kick is probably one of the better bashes in the entire game. Like that's feintable.
It's good.
It's very, very strong with all the recovery cancels, all the soft feints, everything you can do. So lowering the damage down to 20 is good. It's not like, again, it's lower, it's 4 damage less, but again, it kind of goes towards our philosophy of you're going to have to work a little bit more to get to where you need to go.
Right.
And you can still recovery cancel afterwards on hit and go into a front dodge palm or whatever and keep the pressure going. So that kind of works there. We've also adjusted zone attack. So the first hit now causes a medium hit reaction instead of a heavy hit reaction.
Okay.
That helps in a lot of situations where when you do a heavy hit reaction, your opponent is kind of stuck in a situation where like they're in recovery for longer, right?
Okay.
So because of that, you dodge later, you block later, you get to parry a little bit later. So all those things added up to giving Tiandi way too much frame advantage when he used to land that zone. It goes into a kick as well for the second hit, so you can do a lot of different things. So getting it back to a medium hit reaction kind of puts it on the same level as like all of Tiandi's normal heavies. So it makes a lot more sense there to have that. It was a weird interaction. It probably didn't need to be heavy at first, but whatever.
Sure.
So it's good. It's a good time to fix it now. So that's
Yeah.
great. And then finally, we've also adjusted the chain timings from opener lights, opener heavies, as well as all Tiger and Dragon dodges to the finishers, so to light and heavy finishers. They used to be from 100 to 300 ms, so you could chain to them very, very, very quickly.
Okay.
And now they're from 2 to 3, which is like the more standard timing that we have. But one of the big things that this does is that if you throw a heavy, because beforehand, like on live right now, if you throw a heavy and then you go into a 400 ms light, with the chain timing to parry those lights, even if you were able to, right? If you read a parry, you could parry on a single frame. You had a single frame to parry instead of like a much wider window. So with this being delayed a little bit more, you have 100 ms at least to parry every single time if your opponent kind of mashes and buffers it. So we want to make it like it's when you do read and you get, oh yeah, I can do this, then you're actually able to do it, right? So it lowers Tiandi's pressure a little bit in those situations. But again, it's a lot for reducing frustration for playing against the hero. So really have that kind of better feeling there of, well, okay, it's not so bad and we're able to deal with them a little bit better.
Gotcha. Wow.
That's it for Tiandi. Again, like I was saying for Valk, also applies for Tiandi. We're keeping an eye on the hero. We know they were a little bit too strong. So we're starting with these nerfs. If we need to do more, we'll do more in the future. So no worries there.
There we go. So again, commit to the kicks, and he'll still be the loudest hero out there on the field.
Yeah, most likely.
All
Right?
right.
Yeah, that's a big thing. All right, so other hero improvements, right? So for Kensei and Shaman, we've adjusted the miss recoveries on their heavy finishers. They used to be like 1,000 or 1,100 ms depending on the hero. They're now back to 700, right? So at that speed, what it does is that it makes those heavy finishers a lot safer when you miss them, right? So we want to encourage players to use them, to let them fly, and to actually go, well, I can use it and not be crazy vulnerable if I'm using them in a team fight, somebody dodges them or whatever. So we really want to make sure that those decks are, like I said, they're safer, they're more usable, and that you get a bit of like better frame advantage, and it just feels better to use. Basically, right? It's pretty simple. It brawls onto that, so that's
Feels better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Shigoki, we've also adjusted their heavy finisher miss recoveries at 700. Same reason for Kensei and Shaman. Makes a big difference for Shigoki as well, right? Like those big swings, so that's great. And then the next little line is really interesting for me. So heavy finishers now gain uninterruptible stance at 100 ms. Instead of, I think it was like 4 or something. So if you've been following the game for a little while, you might remember that it used to be at that timing before.
Right.
When we did, like, I think it was a rework that we did on Shigoki that we put that timing there.
Right.
And it felt good, but at the same time, Shigoki could chain on miss from his side dodge headbutts. And what this caused is that Shigoki on a defensive action could go side dodge headbutt, opponent reads that they're doing that, dodges it, tries to do a dodge attack, tries to do a side dodge into a garbage or whatever. Shigoki just goes into their heavy finishers.
Hold the heavy,
trades with dodge attacks that are not bashes, which is most of the cast.
Right.
Is able to trade with them, massively win in damage because they're big heavy finishers, and that caused a lot of issues. But because of the dodge changes that we've done recently, where side dodge bashes cannot chain on miss anymore, we're now able to bring this back.
Oh, nice.
And so this is one of the things that is great for us, is that it kind of gives us like a better footing for some of these types of changes to come in the future. This is like the first step. We're looking at doing more and more and more, but it's like an example of the type of things we can do. This applies to front dodge headbutt, for example, right? So you can still chain on miss on a front dodge headbutt. That's not a problem, but it's more counterable. You can't really dodge with it. It's more like you can like light people out of it or whatever. You have to be more proactive. So that's great. It's gonna be harder to punish, but at the same time, like characters like Shigoki kind of need to have that pressure and have that sort of stuff. So that's what I find really interesting here, is that we've done those changes. It helps us do more in the future and balance things a lot better.
Nice. Very cool.
And next up for Centurion, so zone attack now costs 9 stamina per hit, down from 12. And we've also adjusted the zone attack hit trajectories to better match the weapon visuals. Again, we want to have Centurion players be able to use their zone attacks a lot more in the minion lane against multiple players. Centurion is a hero that kind of struggles in group fights a little bit. So with this, with a much lower stamina cost, like at 9, 3 hits is 27 stamina. It's not a ton. You're okay generally. Like it's less than some characters have like that cost 30, right? So that's good. It's 3 hits. You can mow down like the minion lane if you want. A lot of good stuff. So we want to have there. And then the trajectories are also like a little bit bigger. So it's easier to hit people externally and get into that good mood of, well, okay, I'm gonna defend myself and hit people. So that's all good there.
There you go. Nice.
And then finally, we have weapon trajectory updates. So we've adjusted the weapon trajectories again to better match weapon visuals for the following attacks, right? So for Warmonger, all of our side heavy openers and finishers have better trajectories, flatter, a little bit bigger, means you can hit people externally way better, right? So a lot of what we're trying to do with a lot of these attacks is make sure that you can use them defensively as well as offensively. And so having that be able with a Warmonger, also for a Griffon that we have there, to be able to hit people externally, right? You're throwing this big heavy because there's somebody there. You want to be able to hit them. So with flatter trajectories, they don't necessarily match the angle of the weapon perfectly, but at the end of the day, like it hits people better. It feels better, so we're in a better situation overall for this. So that's great. And then for Griffon, basically all of Griffon's side light and heavy attacks, so openers, chains, and finishers, I've also had updated trajectories. They're bigger, they have more reach, they're flatter. So again, it's another big buff to Griffon, and we've seen that, like right. So Griffon, it's interesting because we did one small buff a couple of patches ago. I don't remember exactly how many because it's all a blur at this point, but where we made front dodge light being enhanced. Right. And so because it's enhanced, it opened up Griffon quite a bit from one small change. And one of the things that we're trying to go for now a little bit is taking a lot of these heroes that might be underperforming a little bit and trying to do like little incremental updates over time to see where they'll end up. Because sometimes you do like too much at once, everything blows up. It's like, this is way too strong or whatever. So having that kind of feeling there of we're incrementally getting heroes higher and better, that works well. And because our patch schedule, like we do a lot more updates, and we're able to we do like updates on pretty much every single test title update. So it's great. We have we're able to get all that stuff going. So that's amazing. We've done that in the past as well. So that's that feels really good for me.
Again, we're just kind of continuing on this schedule. Again, every 6 to 7 weeks we have a patch. We're always doing balance, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like we are a live game. We're going to continue to iterate and take feedback into account and look at that. And so I think that's really cool. So thank you so much for sharing that. And speaking of feedback too, we just recently wrapped up a TG2, right?
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we just finished Lawbringer and Nusha testing grounds. So we're in the process of gathering all the feedback, getting everything together, making calls, decisions, whatever you're going to do, what's going to be happening. So I would just say stay tuned for more information coming onto this. There's not much more to announce, but just like we're gathering all the feedback. Right? So again, thanks to everybody that gave feedback, whether it's positive, negative, you loved it, you hated it, you loved like small parts, hated small parts, whatever it is. It's all good. We're super happy to get everybody's information, everybody's feedback, and be able to act on it and look it up and make like good decisions afterwards.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so thank you, community, for that. Please keep up the great work with all the feedback. Again, we appreciate it a lot. So, and thank you, JC, so much for coming on, sharing these updates and what we can expect. And again, tomorrow, this is all going live tomorrow. You don't even have to wait a week. All right. That's why we're doing it on a Wednesday. We're trying something new. We're like, let's just do it, and then tomorrow you can play all this.
Exactly.
So that'll be cool. I'm excited for that. So again, JC, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So rest of you Warriors, stay tuned. We're going to be back up to do a bit of an outro wrap up and go over some more of the content that's going to be dropping in the season. So don't go anywhere. All right.
What an awesome show, as always. We always have
sure.
a good time here on the Warriors Den.
Mhm.
Death by Metal is here. Go play it tomorrow, April 27th until May 18th.
Mhm.
And then following Death by Metal is going to be the duel tournament, May 20th to June 4th.
Mhm.
The link should be dropped in chat already, but we can have someone drop it again right now.
Yeah.
They didn't know that was going to happen,
No,
so I put
no.
them on the spot.
Let's keep them on their toes, all right? Some of us are ready, and
Yeah.
some got to be on their toes, all right?
And then following the realistic duel mode, we've got the duel tournament. Or no, I just said that. Following the
We gotta
other way around. Following the duel tournament, we got realistic duel mode. A lot of words. May 18th to May 25th, and you can earn your black color swatch. Your all black Apollyon.
It'd be like every T-shirt I own, so it'll be good. That's good. Yeah.
I've been paring down my black T-shirts.
I've been pairing them up. It's
Oh,
crazy.
more
yeah.
color.
I'll
Do you
take all
want
your
some?
black ones.
You
Yeah,
want
I
some?
want just
Okay.
give me all the black.
Cool.
Fine.
And then we've got, for the last time, for a long time, the Covenant Games Heralds of Chimera coming back on June 1st until June 8th.
Right. There you
So-
go. We salute you, Albany. See ya.
Mrs. Obama, it's been an honor. And then armor variations will be coming. So you can get that spiffy black armor, as well as also, as we mentioned, there will be the armor variations for all of the faction. Well, for the Knight and Samurai. And the rest will be coming.
Yep.
And then I believe we have it's community corner time. It's time
It
for
is.
community spotlight videos.
Yo.
What's been happening? What have you guys been sending us? Let's see. Let's see it. Max, show it.
Play.
Yeah, they cut our mics for no reason. But here we have the sweatiest of moments here with our boy. This one I really didn't think he was going to pull it off, to be honest.
No. I mean, all those minions, any one of those could have just ended the man's career.
And we got a very bizarre fan art for all our certain intellectual properties interest.
It's very adventurous, though, whatever it is. Yeah.
And then for all of you who want an unarmed warrior,
Oh,
well,
that's
it can
me.
happen to you if Warlord bugs out hard enough.
Oh man, it looks good though.
It does. It does. And as we'll talk about here in a little while, we're gonna have an execution that'll go perfect with that.
Oh. Hey, look at this fan art here.
More Warlord love. When I first saw this, I thought
Minute.
certainly that's AI art, and then they were like, no, that's a person.
That's a
and
person
cosplay.
in there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. When good cosplay meets good photographer, magic happens.
Oh, that's incredible. Nice.
And then the ultimate Lawbro experience. And I feel like this is what most Lawbringer mains look forward to happening, because it's it's magic.
Oh my gosh, they just keep going. Somebody faint.
There's no feint to GP here, only
Oh.
respect. And that's it. Thank you, everyone, for submitting your content that you create, your video clips, everything.
You know, a pirate just ran up behind that lawbringer and
Oh,
killed
yeah.
him right when that
Yeah.
camera cut. Right? Yeah.
It was actually the other Lawbringer, but we cut
Was it?
We cut it early for a
We
happy
wanted it to
ending.
look.
We wanted a
ending.
happy ending.
There's
yeah.
no happy endings for.
Yeah. So someone in chat's being like, "That's not how it ended." But no. Yeah. We always love seeing the content you guys submit, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, wherever. We're always on the lookout
Pinterest.
for it. So, Pinterest is a hard one. It's a hard one to break into.
I'm not really sure how it even works. My wife uses it. That's all I
unfortunately
know. Yeah.
But that's not all. We've got Hero Fests.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Hero Fest. So the Berserker. Yes, I love the. I know for us and like 5 other people who get that, get that
Yeah.
reference, but it's a
Yeah,
great
we're
reference.
old. It's
are.
fine.
We're dating
Look,
ourselves.
we're hip. We're with it.
Are we?
Yeah.
Talking about Pinterest? Is that?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah. That's what the kids are doing.
Is that
The
kids-
ticking and the
their
talking.
TikToks and their Pinterests and stuff? So,
That's like cringe right now.
super cringe. But yeah,
okay
so
with it.
let's talk Hero Fest. Just a quick reminder of that. We talked about it during the last Warriors Den, but we're really just stepping up our game for Hero Fest this season. So every title update, there are going to be 3 Hero Fests now. So remember, the whole point of the Hero Fest is for 1 week. You will be able to play that hero for free if you don't already own them. And if you want to purchase them, there's going to be a 30% discount for that. Also, simply by logging in, you are going to get 2 free symbols for everybody in the roster, which are very funny, and I love the way they look. It's great. And new to Year 7 as well, during the Hero Fest, for that hero specifically, it's double XP for the hero. So if you want to grind out some more reps on a hero, unlock some of those new armor sets, now is the time to do it. So first up again, Berserker will be coming on May 18th, so right after the Death by Metal event.
Death by Metal.
So there's Berserker coming up, and the following week on May 25th, the Orochi. All right, everybody's favorite light spammer there. It's always good. And then
The roaches with the mostest.
there we go, the Roaches with the Moses. And finally, week 3 on June 8th, the Conk with the Bonk. There we
Yes.
go, Conqueror there.
The Bonkerer.
And even though Vanessa's not with us today, just know that her and the animators have prepared for you all some incredibly violent and disturbing unique executions. I don't know who needs to tell them. I'm a little worried, but
We'll get through it.
we'll get through it.
We'll get through it,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll get through it by releasing more.
Yeah,
There we go.
We
We'll
can,
keep-
we
we'll
can
just
have a
dive
fire.
in.
We can sing Kumbaya. We will survive. We will rebuild.
We'll rebuild. All right, I like it. Let's rebuild. So beyond that too, we got some content of the week coming up. First up, Mythic Outfit, the Candlelit Shrine, debuting
I really
15
like
case.
this one.
I do too. I like candle wax.
Yeah.
So you'd like the wax on the skulls.
A good waxing.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Does
a
the
good,
body good.
It's a good waxing there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Moose
Good.
chilling with the candle lit stomps.
Sure.
I like it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. And then we have a new execution as well. Universal execution for everybody. No weapon needed.
Told you.
That'll go very well with the Warlord bug.
And it ledges.
And at Legends, yes. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we play the little game too when we're designing executions. It's the will it ledge game.
Yeah.
And that one indeed will ledge there. So
If it'll ledge a brick, it'll ledge a ball.
it'll ledge ledge everybody. There we go. We can ledge whatever we want. It's
Ledge a
what we do.
wrench.
Ledge a wrench. It'll be good. The ledge a metal pipe that we were
Yeah,
dropping
there
in
it
the
is.
background.
Boom,
There it
pipe
is.
wrench.
Great. And also, we have a new arcade, returning arcade quest tomorrow. I've practiced this one. I'll try it again as fast as I can. Jano Michi Wahebi.
I understood Hebi.
Okay,
As
good.
a warden main, I understood Hebi.
You understood the Hebi? Yeah. It's the Hitokiri, the recipient of Hitokiri's.
Yeah.
I understand.
For me,
the
it's
Hebis
Nobu,
too.
but yeah.
Fair enough, yeah. But that'll be available starting tomorrow through May 4th for Marching Fire owners. And yes, last but not least, this weekend we have an event, Death by
Death
Metal.
by Metal.
That's right. So be the faction with the most Death by Metal matches won. I expect everybody to be in the Death by Metal playlist because I can guarantee you I'm going to be there and I'm going to need your help. It's hard, but hard for me at least. But yeah, but so please help me out. So we'll be there.
And as always, don't forget to follow us everywhere that we are. We are now at For Honor Game on all the things, all the places. We finally got rid of that pesky _US on the Instagram. So
Oh,
we're
yeah?
just, yeah.
Nice.
7 years in. Crushing
Year
it.
7.
Yeah,
All right, we're
Yeah,
on it.
Year 7, For Honor going strong.
There we go.
But yeah, so follow us at For Honor Game on Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget to follow right here on Twitch.
There we go.
Because that would be strange if you didn't do that.
It'd be a little
So,
weird. We're not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then subscribe to the subreddit, which
Yeah.
is just For Honor.
Yeah.
The For Honor subreddit.
No
Because we spend a lot of time there. I spend a lot of time on all the social medias, but I know a lot of us on the team. We spend a lot of time on Reddit.
We do.
So, but yeah, follow us on all the things, and thank you once again for joining us for another amazing Warriors Den. We hope you guys enjoyed Death by Metal and all of the rewards, that black armor, that black swatch, all of the edgelordiness.
Gladiator face reveal. Yeah.
Yes.
Be good. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time.
All right.